Good afternoon everybody and welcome to our pre-drive before the main drive. It is a sweltering afternoon, 31 degrees and 87 Fahrenheit, but a beautiful day nonetheless. No real clouds of any description on the horizons. A few wispy ones here and there, but nothing much. There is a male impala sitting in some shade, a clever boy, and he's now running away from us. Sorry Craig, he was there. There he goes, trotting off into the bush. Clever boy, find some shade. It is that kind of afternoon. I think it's going to be a little bit warmer, also because we're out half an hour earlier today. So hopefully all of you remembered, and you remembered this morning, and that's why you are with us right now. If you did, well done. You get a gold star for the day. Like I say, we are out half an hour earlier, so it's going to be interesting to see how things work out and how things change in this little half an hour period, and whether or not it changes our luck somewhat with these leopards that have been all over the place, driving us a bit crazy the last few days. Tingana has been very naughty and only coming out at the end of drive, and Karula and Cubs have been MIA, so hopefully it will mean all of them will come back. Vanessa, you say you like my haircut. Thank you very much, Vanessa. I quite like it too. I think it's much better. It's far more breezy, I'll tell you that much. So on a hot afternoon like today, it definitely feels a lot better to be having no hair. I can actually feel the wind around my ears as opposed to this big mop on top of my head. And my hair was getting far too long. It was starting to look a bit like Brent, which we can only have one Brent on the show. We can't have two of us walking around with long flowing locks. So the haircut definitely feels a lot better. It was a spur of the moment decision too, Vanessa. I was coming back to work and I decided no, I was pretty over the hair, so quickly popped into the hairdresser on my way to work yesterday. So it was nice and quick and painless, and they did a good job, so we're all good. Feels like a fresh start. Maybe it'll be a lucky haircut. Maybe we'll get leopards from this haircut. We did have Tingana last night, although it was as we finished show, and literally, I don't know, I think some people got to see his tail going through the frame at the end of show, but I didn't see him at all. It was quite funny. When we got back, everybody told me that they saw him crossing, but I didn't actually see him at all. So he was standing or crossing the road in front of me, and I was too busy saying goodbye to everyone to notice him until after we went off air. So I do apologize about that, but he was very naughty yesterday. We drove around in those areas all evening once it got dark, and we just didn't manage to catch up with him until those last seconds. And interestingly enough, he's moved a really long distance. So during the night last night, he went all the way into Torchwood and had a little altercation with Quarantine and pushed Quarantine south, which Taylor then found on Cheetah Plains this morning. So I think Byron's going to head into that area to go and see if he can find any sign of Quarantine moving about on Cheetah Plains, or just resting and licking his little wound on his face. It was about time that he was going to start getting some scars. He's big enough and strong enough now, and he's pushing into areas where he's going to compete with other males, so he's going to start getting those little male leopard scars that they get from competing. But I mean, to cover the distance that Tingana covered from when we saw him last night is quite something. He's moved a long, long way, so hopefully maybe he's come back again. It wouldn't be surprised me in the least. He's an animal that does like to walk and to move, and often see him crossing the whole area. The other day he was at Nkoro. It was before I started at Safari Live. He was walking around in Nkoro and during that afternoon game drive, and the following morning we found him pretty much close to Gari Gates near Simambili side, so coming out of Arathusa onto Simambili, which is complete opposite side of this northern block. And he had walked all the way along through Chitwa, Little Gari, Hoffman's, into Shirley's, from Shirley's Arathusa into Simambili, and then back into Djuma. It was quite amazing. Right, we're going to see you all just now. It's time to go start the show with Byron, and we'll see you in a little bit.